Jagged. The cost of freedom is in truth the willingness to get rid of that which is causing your bondage, which is you. There is absolutely nothing standing between you and God but you. There is nothing ever binding you, ever, except you. Therefore, the only solution is to get rid of you as you know yourself, the you who you've been living for. When you want to be free, when you want to not live a life that feels the anxieties and pressures and woes that people live in their lives, but instead awake in the morning with a song in your heart and complete carefreeness in your mind, the only way you will achieve that state and go through every day that way and enjoy your life is to free yourself from the part of you that is creating melodrama. The question is, what is melodrama in truth? Anything you are doing inside of yourself other than appreciating, enjoying, experiencing life is melodrama. Life unfolds. It has always unfolded. It will always unfold. You are honored and blessed to watch it. That's all. Everything else is melodrama. It is so easy to just watch life unfold. You just watch it unfold. In fact, if you can even tune into that for a moment to realize that's all you're doing. You're watching the sun come up. You're watching the sun go down. You're watching the weather change. You're watching people grow, and you're watching birth. You're watching death. You're watching the cycles of life. You're watching life unfold. That's what you're doing. And then if you examine, why is that hard? Doesn't sound hard. I am literally just watching life unfold, but it is hard. Why is it hard? So it's like if you're sitting there watching a stream flow by, and I say to you, be Siddhartha. Sit at the stream and watch the stream go by. You say to me, that's hard. Why is it hard? Why would it be hard? Why are you having trouble sitting at the stream and watching the stream go by? I didn't say change its direction. I didn't say count the molecules. I didn't say anything. I said sit at the stream and watch the stream go by. But if I come back, you're going to tell me it's hard. Why? Why? And what you'll see if you look at it is because I'd rather be skiing. You have a bumper sticker. I'd rather be parasailing. I'd rather be kickboxing. I'd rather be getting married. You name it, I'd rather be doing it than sitting here watching a stupid stream. In other words, that's not what I had in mind. Sit here and watch the stream. I have other things that I want to do, that I need to do, that I care to do, that I want to happen. Why? Why do you? This is called honest truth. Why is there anything better than sitting and watching the stream flow by? Now something inside of you turns angry and frustrated to even have a conversation like that. You're not supposed to have to talk about that. But I want to. Why is there something better? Something else to do? Something you'd rather do? Why would you rather get married than sit there and watch the stream go by? Why would you rather go to Europe and see the ancient ruins? And why? Why is there anything you would rather do than watch life go by, than watch the stream flow by? You have to search deeply inside yourself to see where your anger and frustration is coming from to have to answer a question like that. And what you will see if you do, since in truth, there is of course no difference between doing anything. You're sitting on a planet, spinning in the middle of nowheres. It's been doing it for billions and billions and billions of days, and it's nothing. It's nothing. There's nothing you're doing that makes any difference to the Pluto or to Andromeda or to the farthest stars or anything. Go on. Go to Andromeda Galaxy and then go find one star in the middle and find a planet around it. And give some thought to this other stupid planet sitting around in the middle of the Milky Way galaxy with one stupid star in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing you're doing that makes any difference. So if you're sitting here watching clouds go, if you're watching stream go by, if you're watching people go by, it doesn't matter. But something inside doesn't want to look at it that way. What is that? Why? And so you look deep. Why would you rather doing something instead of watching the stream go by? And you realize you think there's something to get. You think it's not true that getting married is the same as watching the stream go by. You think it's not true that watching life, and it brings marriage or it brings divorce, it brings sickness, it brings health, it brings wealth, it brings poverty. These are not the same. These are different. These are very different things. No, they're not. They are life going by, and there are different flavors of ice cream. Ice cream is ice cream. What do I care if it's vanilla or chocolate? It's just ice cream. That's what's going on. There's ice cream going by. There's relationships going by. There's money going by. There's all kinds of things that go by in life. And sometimes they're up and sometimes they're down and sometimes they're yours and sometimes they're somebody else's. Haven't you noticed? It's been like that forever. That's what it does. And sometimes the stream bubbles a little bit and sometimes it's quiet and it just does lots of different things. And there is no difference, none, of what that stream is doing when you're watching it. And there is no difference, none, of what life is doing when you're sitting here watching it. None. But yet that is not our experience as human beings. There seems to be a big difference. Why? Why? Because we think there's something to get. That's why. We think that there's something to get from marriage that you don't get from divorce. They think there's something to get from health that you don't get from sickness. We think there's something to get from wealth that you don't get from poverty. We think there's something to get from being around people who like you versus being around people that hate you. So the fact that it sounds logical, don't allow it to be logical. Logic is of mind. You can't rest on that. It won't take you anywhere. It has to be deeper than that. You're sitting on a planet, spinning in the middle of nowheres, and you're watching the planet unfold. Why is that so difficult? What difference does it make? Look at what you see right now. How many people see their little shtick? Billions. Right now. How many have seen these moments come and go? Everybody. Trillions and zillions of moments come and fly by, don't they? The difficulty is that you think there's something to get. Now you go deeper, you say, why do you think there's something to get? Why? And the answer is very, very simple and very deep. Because there's something missing. If you don't have something missing, you don't think there's something to get. If you go to the beach and there's water and there's sand, and I ask you, what are you trying to get here? Nothing. Come on, be honest. You trying to take water? You trying to collect sand? You must be a sand collector. No, why? I don't want it. I don't need it. I couldn't care less about the water or the sand. You hear me? So you don't think there's something to get because you're not missing something. You don't feel there's something missing. You must feel there's something deeply missing to think that you have all these preferences, all these things that you want to happen. That's where it comes from. That's what the Buddha meant by the cause of suffering is desire. It's this underlying sense that something is missing. And then the feeling that something will give it to you, and then the urge to be doing the something that will give it to you. Like, if I feel that there's something missing, and that having a beautiful relationship is going to fulfill that, heck, if I want to sit here and watch the brook go by, how long do I have to do this? Am I done yet? Am I done yet? Done yet? Done yet? We're there yet? We're there yet? Right? That's what you're doing. You're trying to get something, is not happening, so heck, if I want to sit there and watch the brook. That's the core of what is going on. Is there is something missing, therefore we are trying to get, therefore we are not neutral and even with all things that happen. Those things that seem to be aligned with what we're trying to get are of much more interest to us. And that's the core of where it comes from. If you want to be free, you must be free from that. That is your bondage. It is the sense that something is missing and there is something to get to take care of that causes all the disturbance and the turmoil and the commotion and the suffering and the anguish and the anxiety in life. Otherwise, nobody is stopping you from just watching life go by, from enjoying the experience. Don't think of watching life go by as passive. You're standing there watching life go by. You can participate in it, all right? It's fun. It's a fun thing. You can be there with it, but there's nothing to get. It's not like because there's nothing to get, you have to renounce. I always try to be fair and teach you it's not renunciation. It can't be. Renunciation is too shallow. So now you understand there's nothing to get. Doesn't mean you push it away. Doesn't mean you have nothing to do with it. Why? You go to the beach, though you don't want to collect sand. You go in the water, though you don't want to take it home. Renunciation is because you're kind of all freaked out and passionate about something, you better not touch it. Because you're busy wanting it, you better be busy not touching it. Otherwise, I always tell you, how would you know what to renounce? Should you renounce the sand? That's easy, I'll do it. You pick the very things you couldn't care less about and say, I'll renounce that. That's not renunciation. Renunciation gets defined as, I think there's something to get because I have something missing, therefore I am driven in that direction, but I'm not going to do it. That's not deep enough. You should be able to sit there and watch the world go by. The consciousness is watching the unfoldment of life. You are not doing a darn thing. It is on autopilot. People come, they go, they're born, they die. There's poverty, there's wealth, there's sickness, there's health. There's all these different things are unfolding, and your consciousness just watches them. Now, is that watching passive? Does it mean that you have nothing to do with things? No, that's doership. Things come, they're around you, people talk to you. I have nothing to do with them. Well, because I don't want to do anything, I have nothing to do with them. That's doing. The Gita says that, it's very beautiful. The Gita says the act of suppressing action is action. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Thank God for deep scriptures. It is not about that. It is about the openness and the neutrality of just being conscious and permitting life to flow through you, around you, in you, by you, to you, all the different ways, within, without, above, below, everything. It comes and goes, and you're there consciously of it. Perhaps you get married. Well, why would you get married? That's doership. No, not then, it's not. It's doership if you're sitting there watching the stream go by, but you'd rather be getting married. That means there's something missing, and you're trying to take care of it by doing something versus another. If you're sitting there completely neutral and just watching life go by, and it happens to bring marriage, you bring marriage. It happens to bring birth, you bring birth. It happens to bring death, it brings death. You are sitting here participating, observing, experiencing life. That is freedom. That is your freedom. And there is not anything, any reason, none, that you're not able to live like that. Who's stopping you? Nothing's stopping you from being here and watching life unfold. The problem is, you don't want to do that. You want to do something else that you think will give you what it is that's missing. And so now there becomes this tension and this turmoil because you become the doer. You're no longer in harmony with life. Like people say the Tao is very complex and very deep and very difficult. No, it's not. The Tao is the least complex of all things. It is the least difficult of all things. In fact, simple doesn't come close to how empty the Tao is. Why? If you are sitting there in pure consciousness, observing the unfolding of life, you are in the Tao. And you happen to be in the Dharma also. Reality, truth, wholeness is the Dharma. It is the Tao. It is the fact that we are missing something, thereby creating the sense of doership to try to take care of it, need, desire, call it whatever you want, that dynamic that happens when there's something missing and we try to fix what's missing. Now, I have to struggle with life. Now, if I'm watching the stream, I'd rather be over there. Now, if you're not doing what I want you to do because I decided it was you I want to get married to, and what am I going to do because you're going off with somebody else? And all of a sudden, I got a commotion. I have a disturbance in the force. You did that. It was you who took the emptiness, the missing inside of you, turned it into concept, desire, preference, something you'd rather be doing because you think it'll take care of this, and then go out there and try to mess with life to be what you need it to be. And all of a sudden life is totally different than the beauty of just watching it unfold. No longer do you watch it unfold. Now you fight with it. You are now struggling with life. Life is a struggle to people. It is an overwhelmingly difficult experience of struggle, and all they try to do is find some moments where they feel safe and contented and happy, and things will be okay soon, maybe, if I work hard. All right? It's like constantly trying to be okay. There's no reason in the world you're not okay. If you are okay with life unfolding, you are okay. That's how hard it is to be okay all the time. Be okay with what's happening all the time, and you'll be okay all the time. It is because you're not okay with what's happening. You prefer to be doing something else, or you're afraid of what it leads to. You have stuff going about it. Personal human stuff. That creates the disturbance in the force. That creates all the commotion. So your liberation, your freedom, is completely and utterly at all times about this. It is about confronting inside of you to say, why can't I just permit life to be life? Why can't I permit her to unfold, participate with her fully when she's there? When she chooses to leave, go through the experience of life leaving and of life coming. It's a flow. Things don't actually leave and not come. It's equal. It's like moments come and moments go, don't they? And the exact amount of atoms that made up one moment ago are making up now. And that's it. They're just moving through time and space. And that's all. And you get to a point where you must understand that that is your only way out. It is only by your ability and willingness to go through what you must go through inside in order to be at peace with the truth and the reality of life. And then you are free. You're free from having to struggle. You're free from having to suffer. You're free from having anguish. You're free from worrying. You're free from fear. Do you understand that? So you're married and you have a wonderful relationship, and he or she has cancer. What is that? That is life unfolding. People get cancer. But not my loved one. Yes, your loved one. It's your turn. It's your turn to go through an experience. What experience? Every moment of life is an experience. Anything, everything. There's no difference one to the other. They are your ability to experience the unfolding of life. Well, what does one do? Does one get therapy or not get therapy? Who cares? That's not the point. Neither therapy nor non-therapy are in the Tao. What is in the Tao is what I'm talking about. You are at peace with the unfolding of life. You're at peace with however life is unfolding. It is permitted to do so. In a sense, you give it your permission. Okay, I understand people get sick and now my loved one is sick. I understand people must struggle through the decision of therapy or non-therapy. Now, I get to experience that struggle. All of it's honorable. Every single thing that is happening in life is the same as every other thing that's happening in life. There is no molecule in that water flowing by you that is different than any other molecule. You are watching the stream flow by. It has been there for a long time, and your consciousness is experiencing it. You are watching the unfolding of life. Every experience is worth having. There is no experience that is better than another experience. They're all life's experiences. And you're open to this, and then you say to life, you choose what experiences. There are so many, I wouldn't know what to pick. You give me the presence of the moment. And so the experiences unfold. Some of them make you feel one way, some of them make you feel another way. They're all different vibrations. They're just intoxicatingly wonderful. If you are free. If you are free, if you're looking at all things that way. It's so deep. There is nothing that is a problem. Because there is no experience that's not worth having. And all that can happen is your next experience. And all of them are the same. Do you understand that? It doesn't feel that way. I told you why it doesn't feel that way. There is something missing inside, and you think there's something to get that will make it better. So you don't think all experiences are worth having. The experiences that make it better are worth having, and the experiences that make it worse are not worth having. All right? And that's where you get lost. You ever hear the term duality? There. A moment ago, I talked about non-duality. That was the non-dualistic teachings. That all of it is the same. It all is just the water flowing through you. What's the difference? It's all weather. Windy, sunny, rainy. What's the difference? It's weather. That's what this is. It's the different vibrations of life that are passing through you that you have the honor of seeing. That's the non-dualist teaching. That's the transcendental truth. That's all the great teachings. That's where they came from. The other is to sit there and say, I am missing something. I need to do something about this. I'm lacking. I'm missing. This is what I want to do about it. So your solution is the problem. This is what I want to do about it. The minute I have that, now all experiences are not worth having. This one is much better than that. And that one is sure as heck not worth having. They're all measured in relationship to what I think I need or want. Again, the Buddha said the cause of suffering is desire. End suffering and desires. This desire, this need, is what's causing all of this to happen. Now you can't let life unfold. You have to fight with her and struggle with her. So it's so beautiful to wake up and realize it's that simple. The very part of you inside that feels, how could I feel evenly about someone I love being sick or someone I love being healthy? How could I feel evenly about feeling that success will happen to me or failure will happen to me? How can I feel evenly knowing that she loves me and she hates me? Because the part of you that can't is the core of the problem. And that becomes your life. It becomes your growth. To sit there and look at that part, the part that's creating duality, that's separating what you like from what you dislike. Now you see where it comes from. There is no reason for these things. You can be at peace and permit life to unfold and have a full life. You have more than a full life. You experience deeply every moment of life. Now, something inside of you is saying, I don't want to do that. I don't want my wife to get sick. I don't want this to happen. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to lose all my money. I don't want that. I don't want to get fired. There's a lot of experience that I want to have. Okay? You have to look at that someday. That's not a game to feel that way. You can't go where you want to go if you cop out there. You have to look at that and say, what part of me is unable to even contemplate something happening, an experience happening that isn't what I want? And that's where your work is. How does one work at that level? Well, it's not like I would ever teach you, start thinking about the things that you're most afraid of and keep thinking about them until they don't bother you. That's not a healthy thing to do. You should not contemplate with your mind that which causes you to feel difficulty or problems. That's not a way to work through your stuff. It actually has the opposite effect, because what it does is stimulate the samskaras and cause more damage. What you do is you make believe you're enlightened. Tomorrow when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be able to let all of life pass through evenly without any differentiation. Just whatever experiences unfold, whoever comes to you, whoever talks to you, whatever takes place, it's going to be the same. Is it going to be the same? Is it going to pass through and you're going to be there with the next moment and just be in the now and just be experiencing life? All right? That's a game you play with yourself when you wake in the morning. Then watch. Don't do, just watch. Watch when it doesn't happen that way. Watch when the first thing happens, the phone rings at 2 a.m. Ding! Oh, all of a sudden the heart's going like that, the mind's going, why? Well, who could be calling? Well, it could be wrong. There must be something wrong. So what? See, you're not going to be okay until it's okay that there be something wrong. You're not going to make there never be anything which you call wrong. You're not going to be able to make it so there are never phone calls. But what you can do is enjoy the experience should it take place, instead of being afraid of it. What can happen on the other side of that phone call? What can happen? Life. That's what can happen. Life can happen. The next event of life could happen. But I don't want to be surprised. I don't want to be surprised as to what happens. No, that's not okay. The truth of the matter is, all of life is a surprise. You know the slightest idea what's going to happen next. It could be a car accident. It could be this. It could be that. It could be a sickness. You could fall in love or meet somebody. You could find out millions of things that you were adopted and you didn't even know it, or anything. You just don't have the slightest idea. And so basically, you sit there and you realize, okay, so I won't have a problem with the unknown. I won't have a problem with the unknown. So I don't know what's on the other side of the phone call. Let's go find out. There's this openness, this excitement, this enthusiasm, this openness to understand all that can happen is life. Nothing but life can happen. You start to work with yourself by letting yourself be clear, and then when things happen that disturb the peace, disturb your clarity, now it's not you doing it, it's life having brought this gift and showing you where your non-clarity is. You must work with that. You must be willing to use that situation to make it so that next time you're clearer. You embrace the opportunity to let life unfold even though it's disturbing you. How? You let go of your disturbance. You let go of your disturbance instead of pushing away life. If life is disturbing you, what your tendency to do is change it. There's another way to have it not disturb you. Let go of the part of you that is disturbing. That's the essence of all of it right there. If what you do is push life away so that it doesn't disturb you, you'll be doing that forever. There's always something in there. And so you find yourself constantly trying to control life, control the situations around you so that they don't disturb you. A yogi welcomes disturbance. They welcome disturbance. Any amount, no matter what. Why? Because the only thing that can disturb is a part inside of you that can get disturbed. And if your goal, if your whole meaning of life is the releasing, the extricating yourself from that, then the fact that it be challenged and show up as a disturbance gives you an opportunity to kiss it goodbye. Gives you an opportunity to say, that part of me inside that can get disturbed, I don't want that inside. I don't want a part of me inside that can get disturbed. Therefore, if I see it, I'm going to let it go. What let it go is so deep. People don't understand what letting go means. That's the level you let go. I'm going to let go of the part that's disturbed. Not a single emotion, not a thought, not a value, not a view. You let go of the whole chunk, the whole thing that generates disturbance. You never side with it. There's never a condition in which you say, this is so disturbing to me, it must be wrong. You understand that the reason it is disturbing to you is because you have something disturbing inside of you. And what it did was stimulate that. So you should be grateful, not angry or resentful. You're grateful for the opportunity to release and let go of a part of you that can still get disturbed. Can that part go away? It can certainly thin out. Let's use those words. It can thin out so much that things that used to disturb the heck out of you don't even notice. They don't disturb you. People say things, people interrupt you, people do this, people beep at you. They're just all kinds of little things that used to go on, that used to give you some problem. Now, it doesn't give you a problem. It's not disturbing to you. You will find that if you practice the letting go of the part that gets disturbed, don't listen to its views, don't listen to the specifics at all. You just see there's a part that can create disturbance. I don't want it. It's got to be that clear. You don't wait till you thought about it. You don't wait till you figure out what you're going to do about it. You know what you're going to do about it. You're going to let it go. Period. That's what you're going to do. No exception. The more you don't want to let it go, the more you're going to let it go. Therefore, the more noise it makes, the more certain it is it's gone. So it's over for that sucker. It doesn't stand a chance. When you get to that point where you realize what it's all about is letting go deeper at another level of everything that comes up, the mind don't even bother talking no more. It knows you're not listening. It will shut up. It will go through the most amazing, deep growth, things that nobody else could tolerate or live with, and it won't say a single word. What you got to do is constantly come back to, is this life unfolding? You ask yourself, is this life unfolding? The answer is, of course it is. Is this what happened next in this unbelievable story of my life? Right? All these events that come by and flow by this particular soul's consciousness. Is this what happened next? This person did this person said that, this took place, that. Obviously the answer is yes. That's why you're there with it. This is what happened next. And you ask, can I handle it? That's how you do it. There are certain questions you ask of yourself. Is this life unfolding? Yes. Can I handle it? What do you mean? Can I handle it? Can I handle that this life is unfolding? It's kind of a funny question because I don't know what option you have. Life is unfolding. That's what it is. So the question becomes, is this life unfolding? Yes. Is your checklist. Is this life unfolding? This which is causing me all this disturbance. Is this life unfolding? Yes. Can I handle it? Before you contemplate that, to give an honest answer, because I want a totally honest answer, this is how you're sure that you give a totally honest answer. No kidding around. When you ask the question, can I handle it? Say yes. Instantly. There's the honest answer. Because you can. You can handle anything. Why? I'm not asking you to do anything. It's like saying, can you sit there and watch the stream go by? I don't know. Can I? Yes. Yes. Can you pick it up and drink the whole thing? No, that's another question. You can ask some questions, right? If it's 60 feet wide, can you jump over it? I'm not going to answer any of those things. Can you stand there and watch the thing flow by? Yes. Do you want to? That's another issue. And that's why I'm saying the yes has to be instantaneous. Because the truth is, yes. Yes, it is life unfolding, and yes, I can handle it. Then the question becomes, am I willing to? Do I want to? Some people say, I don't want to handle this. I understand the truth. I understand everything. I don't want to handle it. I'm sure I could if I wanted to. I don't want to. Okay. What does it mean to say no? I don't want to handle it. I guess it means the following. Here it is, life unfolding. It is hitting something inside of me that is causing disturbance. I'm going to keep that something inside of me, thereby I'm going to keep disturbance. And with all of the power of the disturbance invested in me, all that disturbed energy, I am going to change and stop reality. Period. I'm going to get out there and use this power to change this thing so that it's the way I need it to be. All right? Wait till you see what happens if you mess with that stuff. It's like amazing. But I just wanted to tell her not to do that right now. Yeah. Little did you know that she was at the end of her line, and all she needed was that one word, and the bags were packed, and she was waiting. No, I'm sorry. I'll change. There you go again. You're always better off letting go. You're always better off letting go. Because what will unfold when you let go is life untouched by you. And that's the beauty of it. That's why the Buddhists talk about the void, the emptiness. Very deep. It is devoid of you. So, under all circumstances, you let go. You let go of the part that is creating disturbance. And you say, this is life unfolding, and I'm honored to see it. Sometimes it could happen that it creates a lot of disturbance. It just creates a lot of disturbance. More than what you bargained for. How about I put it that way? More than the fun part of, okay, I'll do that. Kind of like, I don't want to do that anymore. Excuse me, teacher. I don't want to do that anymore. There was enough of that. Okay, that was fun for 5 minutes. But I want her back now. Right? It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. What has happened now is the unfolding of life didn't make it through you. It hit deeper things inside that it couldn't get past because you were blocking. And so now you have to decide. What are you going to do? And the decision's always the same. I guess I'll have to let go at a deeper level because I want life to make it through me. I want it to make it through me. I've collected too much of life so far. That's why it's such a mess. I don't want to interfere with a single energy anymore, ever, that is unfolding. And I want to let go of whatever's inside of me. And now you went to another level. You went to the next level, which is there's not a limit to how much you will let go of. Ultimately, you have to let go of the universe's worth. Because that's what's actually trying to pass through you every moment, is the whole universe. You understand that? You just limit it to your little part, right? And that's your universal expansive consciousness. And you keep letting go. You just keep letting the problems that you experience inside become the roadmap to your way out. Then they're not problems, they're solutions. They are showing you the way of letting go deeper. Letting go deeper. Don't get into it. Don't become dark. Just be willing to let go of the place from which your disturbances come. If you keep doing that relentlessly, constantly, unalterably, you will become free. You ultimately become free. Ultimately, you sit in a place where there are no needs anymore. Why are there no needs? There are no needs because you're being fed from behind. You're being fed by the flow of the Shakti, of the light. And she creates such a beautiful flow that the world has no interest to you. It's lost its salt. Still life unfolds, still you participate. But you're not there, there's nothing going with it. And this is your work. This is what you have to decide. Are you willing to say, this is life unfolding, and I can handle it, and I want to handle it. And you handle it by giving it the room inside of you to make it through. And if there is something that it's hitting, you're grateful for the opportunity to let that go. In the big times when a lot is happening, or it's overwhelming, or they're really strong things, it's not like you have to stay centered, that you have to stay in charge. If that's what came, you just do the best you can inside to let go. If you end up messing up a little bit, or you say something, you do, it doesn't matter. The point is your willingness to let this energy in and let it have you. Let it work with you, let it purify you. And you just keep letting go and letting go. Everything will work out. It all works out just fine. It doesn't really need you to be doing it. Ultimately, you will realize you're not walking this path. This path is carrying you. So it is carrying you, and as long as you're willing to let it, nothing can go wrong. It just keeps unfolding. So this is the depth of how to free yourself. And you can free yourself. How to free yourself through every single moment of your life. Jagrata.